Welcome back to the Game Master platform. We're going to continue building out the Lost Valley of the Orcs. I want to take you through how I go about this next process. This is where it's a little bit more complicated, and where I spend most of my time. Now, remember, my goal is to get to session one. As I think about session two, three, and four, like those are just general ideas, general themes. My goal is to get 3 to 7 encounters built for session one and to play that session. Because what's going to happen is after you play that session with your characters, you're going to get more ideas and your story's going to become crisper. Your PCs are going to influence it and you're going to be able to evolve where you're going. So let me log in and get going. All right. So here we are back at the Lost Valley of the Orcs. If you remember, we have the image, the summary. So that's looking good. I'm going to drill in and I want to spend a little time about what I do. So in the last video, I went through and I bolded all the important pieces that I wanted to dig into. Now remember, in the frame of mind, I want to get to session one. And I know that my first session is going to be spent with one of the orc tribes. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've renamed all the chats I've done. So here's the ideas, here's the overview, here's the summary. Then in the last video I built out this orc clan and I've since built out this orc clan. What I wanted to do now is I wanted to show you how I'm using this information. So what's cool is you can go to any chat, you can edit this. You'll see all the information that was pulled in from that. And basically this was my prompt into it. So I'm going to just copy this. If I wanted to, I can edit this and I can hit run and it will run this whole thing over again. Or I'm just going to close it now and I'm going to go new chat. Because what I want to do and what I've done is I'm developing the story and the backgrounds for each one of these tribes. So in this one, now I'm going to do the last tribe, and then I'm going to go through and show you how I think about the story. So I'm asking the AI, I want to go into detail around the tribe Zul Thorazul, giving the name of its leader, shaman, and beliefs. Make them unique and tie them to the story. Tie them to the story. So I'm going to run this. So it's going to go through and it's going to pull together based on all the information we fed it and create a unique orc tribe that has a really cool name. I already love this warlord, Grand Shanak the Unyielding. So I'll let this build out and play. Here's the shaman, a conduit to the spiritual realm. So this is interesting because they're based on celestial bodies and what governs it. So let's take a look at these three tribes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this. I'm going to save this right here. Wait, let me go back. Let me edit. And I'm going to just paste that and I'm going to save it. So now I have that saved. So I'm going to have my PCs start with engaging with this tribe. The thing I like about this, it's a giant orc with a reputation as unyielding as the mountains surrounding the valley. He's a battle-hardened warrior who's ascended to leadership through sheer strength and tactical cunning. This is interesting. He's tactical. He possesses a deep, booming voice that carries the weight of his authority, often rallying his warriors with fiery speeches that store the orcish spirit. He's very protective of his tribe, and he's a strategic thinker, frequently outmaneuvering his rivals. This is critical to the story because this is where I can tie the player's backstory into this plan. This is also where I'm going to have the connection where they'll first potentially meet, and they will develop a uncomfortable relationship with this tribe, but they'll have a connection to it. So here's their spiritual ancient wise. It's unparalleled. even feared. That's interesting. So that means her visions are very accurate. So what I'm going to do is when I go deep into her, I'm going to have her think about the different prophecies or the different visions she may have. One of which is going to include something with the PCs. I want her to have a vision of the PCs having a play into this entire part. And she can inform the leader of this vision. So when the PCs show up, he will recognize that this vision is playing out. So they venerate the spirits of the earth and sky. The ancestors might be imbued with the land itself. That's interesting. So I might, pivot at them even while these are orcs, slightly more intelligent. They're more leaning towards land. I might make, slightly more elemental type spells. Earth, think of earth and grass. Think of maybe call lightning. These type of things. Here's the interesting thing. He has a desire for unity. So he's the one that wants to unify the orc tribes. And he sees this as a positive thing. Now, when I look at other tribes, and I'll go into the next one, they're not all going to see it that way. So now let me pivot over to this tribe, because this is completely unique. Urgok Maul, Warlord Dragoth Bone Crusher. Formidable and ruthless. A colossal orc whose very name evokes fear across the valley. Renowned for his brutality and relentless pursuit of dominance. So this is your traditional orc mentality of I'm going to rule everything. So I naturally have a tension between the Gashtok and the Urgok Maul orcs. I'm going to play that up in my game. So now what you can see I'm doing is I'm going step by step, section by section, and I'm asking the AI to generate me information that gives me even more information. I know I need to build out this NPC here. So my next steps is I'm going to go deep on Gashtok, because that's where session 1 is going to revolve around. And through that, I'm going to unveil that there is tension between this orc and these orcs. And they're going to learn about that. Even so, there might be an encounter where these orcs and the PCs and these orcs and the PCs, maybe they fight alongside the orcs. So I'm going to try and pivot some of the traditional thinking of these orc relationships, how everyone, and really take them out of their old, how everyone plays orcs. So in any event, I'm hoping this helps you understand how I go to the next level. So each one of these bold items, I'm going to have conversations with the AI. I'm going to save them off, and they're going to develop my story further. In the next video, I'm going to build out the encounters with the Gashtok. I'm going to start with encounter 1. I'm going to build out the NPCs, and I'm going to get deeper on that, because this is really where session 1 is. And I'm going to determine what are the 2 or 3 outcomes from this first session that I want the PCs to have or to learn. So that's really where I'm going to spend my the next video talking about that. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you in a little bit. Cheers.